welcome to episode 5 of the Games My Mom Found podcast. We're coming to you on February 10th today. And first thing I want to say is thank everyone for listening to our podcast. We have had over 100 downloads so far in our first 4 episodes, so I greatly appreciate that people have been taking the time out to listen to us. It's been awesome. Second thing I want to throw out there real quick, if you guys do get a chance to plug a friend of mine, if you guys get to go on YouTube to another podcast called Trash Talk, where they drink and talk about games and comics and stuff like that. And now, no more else to say. Just want to get this going. Life is like a hurricane here in Duck Berg. I am Mike Albertin, and who's with me tonight?
I'm DJ Copland.
And I'm Stefan JD.
You see, since Stewart's not here, he would have got that joke that no one else did.
I mean, I got it. It was, I got it.
Listened because of Stewart. I listened to that song. Got
lasers, race cars, airplanes, etc., etc. Yeah.
Yep.
We got it.
I listened to it like over 100 times this week. All right. Well, before any more crap about that, we this week we're covering Ducktales 1 and Ducktales 2 for the NES.
Which I didn't even know the second one existed before you recommended we play it.
I only did because of a lot of different podcasts I listen to and other YouTube videos are always talking about this great rare game, and because it's expensive as hell on eBay. But we'll start with the first one. Did anybody have any memories of DuckTales 1 before we started this podcast or knew anything about it?
So I was born right at the beginning of the Super Nintendo era, so like after this game sort of passed out of the limelight. Like my first console, to put this in perspective, was a PS1. So it's a little bit before my time. And I only really learned about this game through the internet and internet review culture, the Angry Video Game Nerd and all them. I guess I really only found out about this game like in 2008. And I think maybe I saw someone playing the Game Boy Color port back in like 1999.
Yeah.
But that's about my the extent of my contact with it. I never really played all the way through it before now, and
that's not a bad thing.
So that's just to say that I don't really have a nostalgic attachment to this game. I never really even watched the series.
I haven't either.
I found this game delightful.
Yeah.
And I feel like I learned more about the show by playing the game. Like I got a sense for it, which I don't think is the case for every licensed game. I think there's something about the essence of this show that the game just kind of captures really well somehow, even though it's like 8-bit. So I think that's pretty cool. But yeah.
Sorry. I actually watched the show as a kid. I don't remember too much about it. I just remember there was like I think his name was Gizmo or something, but he was a duck that was like half robot. It had
Gizmo.
A wheel. Yeah. And he was the coolest part of that show. And that's all I really remember, other than Scrooge diving into gold coins somehow.
Oh, yeah. There's been like so many think pieces about how many pieces his body would have like exploded into if he did that in real life.
Yeah.
Oh man, I had no memory. I never played this game when I was a kid. I skipped the NES era, even though I was born in '87, so I should have been around playing NES, but I didn't. I never really got into it.
Hey, me too.
By the time you were like of an age to play video games, the SNES probably would have been out.
Oh yeah, SNES was what I really grew up on. I mean, but my first memory of a game is the original Zelda and X-Men for Genesis.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other story. But. No, I didn't really know DuckTales. I was aware that it existed because people talk about it, but it was never anything that I had any urge to play. I mean, the reason why we even picked it for this episode was we did a poll on the Overblood group that we're part of, and this was voted with 37 votes. This was actually Stewart's pick, but he is unfortunately not here tonight.
So you're just going to be hearing about this game from 3 people who know nothing about it.
Pretty much, yeah. I did.
So enjoy, folks. Oh man, I think our viewer count's just going to keep going right up. I think it's going to keep climbing even faster after this wonderful display.
We'll make it work. But before we really get into the game and talk about different levels, I just wanted to say that it did come out in 1989 for NES, made by Capcom, and it also came out in Game Boy in 1990. We'll delve more. I played the Game Boy game also just for the show, but we'll delve in that later. But first, I want to say, did anybody what do you guys think of what level did you play first when you were starting in the NES in the first one?
I just went down the list.
Yeah, same here.
Same here.
I mean, it's pretty clear that it's weird because, like, they give you the option of choosing whatever you want, but they make it pretty clear that they want you to play them in order, especially because there are levels that are locked until you play previous ones that are, like, a step above it on the list. So it's like, I'm not sure why they give you that option.
Yeah. Like the Amazon level, dude, I kind of, I mean, that was an interest. Like, I just did the same thing. I followed the list, but I liked the Amazon level. I thought it was kind of like, it took me a little bit to get used to the whole Pogo thing where I had to hold down B and get used to that. It took a second. I was very confused for the first, like, 5 minutes or minute.
Definitely. Also, the golf swing, which it took me a little too long to figure out. You had to, like, press up against a wall for, like, a full second until you get that little butt wiggle animation and then do it.
Yeah.
It is not like this. It is not like it should be a lot similar for an NES game with 2 buttons. It really wasn't. Like, it took me a second too. I'm like, what do I do? I know I gotta do something, but I just couldn't figure it out at first.
You have to. Yeah, there's this weird little period at the beginning of your time with this game where you're just trying to figure out how everything works, and it's like it is a very simple control scheme, but it's not as simple as press B to swing your cane. It's like you have to. There are 2 very specific inputs that you just need to wrap your head around before you're able to, like, enjoy this game and get the sense of what's actually going on.
Even like the jumping at first, like I mentioned a little bit, like when you're jumping and pogoing, when you first start playing, it doesn't feel that easy. It doesn't feel that simple. Like once you get into it, it became much more fluid.
It becomes like second nature. Pogoing is so much fun.
Oh yeah, it's the only reason this game is good.
Oh, come on.
Which
I mean, it is. That's a weird thing to say because that's like
the only thing
saying like being able to jump in the first Mario game is the only reason it's good. It's not the only reason it's good, so much as it's the one thing the entire game is built around.
I'm not a huge platformer fan, so that's part of it.
Oh, come on, and they're great. How can you hate platformers?
You know, it's funny. Like until recently, I never even beat any Super Mario World until I think last year I finally played it and beat it.
Oh, come on!
So
you were around when that came out.
Yeah, but I wasn't. I had the cartridge as a kid, but I never got past Donut Land. I think it was, or somewhere early on. I never got too far.
Oh, come on, man!
Not Donut Land.
I don't understand. I don't even understand. Are we still speaking English? What are I can't even like register what you're saying right now.
But
I'm very surprised to hear that, Mike.
Oh
I don't know why. I
Mike,
wasn't. I'm not.
Mike, can I see your gamer's license? I want to check your registration.
And platformers. Back then I wasn't a fan of them. Now I used to play a lot of RPGs back then. That was what all I played with. I loved RPGs.
Well, I can't fault you there.
RPGs are fun.
And I thought the enemies were cool in the Amazon, though. I did like the snakes. I hated the bees. I think the bees are in the NES version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated the bees.
Yeah.
They're terrible in the Game Boy. Also.
Speaking of the first Mario game, though, something to bring up about the game is if anyone remembers in the underground level in the first Mario, to warp to other worlds, you kind of have to go to the top of the screen.
Yeah. There's a lot of that in this game.
Yeah, Ducktales, to find like secret hidden treasure rooms, that's pretty much all you have to do to find any secret in this game is go up to the top of the screen, pogo up there, and usually go left or right, and you'll find treasure.
Well, there's some others that there are like hidden walls and like the Transylvania level.
You love hidden walls.
Yeah.
Hidden walls are great.
Remember Super Metroid Hidden Wall? That was your favorite.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was getting at.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Fans in the know will remember my little tirade in the first season.
Where we dated.
Yeah, no. See, I like the hidden walls in this one because they're actually done well. Well, like the game literally lets you know, hey, there's hidden walls, and you want to check all the walls, and then you're actually like, it's letting you know. And it's not just like it's not giving you an X-ray power and then having one wall that doesn't reveal from the X-ray power. just completely arbitrarily. Nope, doesn't work on this one. You just have to know it's see-through. That's bullshit.
This is a little less complicated too, because you kind of get the nephews in the game to give you hints, and one of them says like, "Hey, walls. Some of them are false. Go through them." So
it does give you a lot.
Yeah.
Like the game doesn't. I mean, it's a really simple, just a little platformer. I mean, it wasn't like I played with save states, but it other than that, it might be a little. I mean, it'd be kind of hard. Did the game even have continues? I never really found out. Did anybody else find out?
I'm not sure. I think it's you lose all your lives and you're back to square one.
That's what I thought. That's what it looked like.
But honestly, this is one of those games where this isn't like Batman for Genesis, where I was like, I would just go insane if I had no save states for that. For this, this is like that perfect kind of game where when you're a kid, like back when this comes out, like you just spend an afternoon or a weekend just playing this game, and then you're able to beat it by the end. Like,
yeah.
Without
this would be a perfect weekend rental right here.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is without save states, this will take you a day or two. Which again, that's what they were aiming for, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Like it's designed for that, and it's not frustrating, and it's not designed around that kind of like bullshit repetition that Batman was. It's good game design, guys. I actually like this game a lot. Like it absolutely accomplishes what it was made to do. It's cool because like Capcom really put thought into this game, because they could have just made like a Mega Man clone, and they didn't.
Oh, it also was made in the Mega Man engine too.
I mean, I'm not surprised by that.
It's pretty obvious.
It's pretty obvious.
Hey, but at least this time you got the game that you were promised for Batman. You had a character who can jump on your enemies just like Mario.
Oh yeah.
Unlike Batman, but hey, some people apparently did.
I mean, I don't know that he necessarily does that in the show, but it still fits. So. Like he is a cartoon character, and he does have a cane, and like I kind of like the creativity of like having him bounce around on it instead of just swinging it at people, like making it a traversal mechanic. That's really smart. It's a platformer, like it's all about traversal, and making it all about traversal it's good. It's fun because it's a platformer. You want it to be about like moving around.
Yeah, the jumping, I did it once I got the hang of it. Like at first I died, like before I started really using save states, I died a lot in the first level. Then I started getting the hang of it. Then I started to enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah, I mean that's the way it was for me too. And like that's, again, this game is built for that. This game is built to allow you to figure it out. It's once you're used to it, it's great. Like once you have the hang of bouncing around on the pogo stick, you just can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I mainly jumped all the time.
Yeah, and it's clearly what the game wants you to do.
Yeah. Oh, did anybody pay the $300,000 in the Amazon level to see what happens?
Yeah, don't you have to do that to face the boss?
No, you don't.
You don't?
You can actually go up a different way and go get the boss.
Oh shit! I did not know that.
I didn't pay. I never had enough money.
I had plenty. That's really funny.
What does it even do? Like, what's over there? I didn't bother to look or try.
I mean, it just takes you to the boss.
Oh, okay. So it's the same thing then.
Yeah.
Because not that far. You go like to the left to where those stupid tribal men look like they're from Indiana Jones movie are throwing the spears at you, and then you go like up, left and up or something like that, and then you get to the boss also.
I mostly played this. I played this with save states, but without a guide. I really didn't feel like it was necessary, and I actually enjoyed it a lot more. Like
it's not too difficult. It's
a very simple game. Like unless you're going for a completion run, which I wasn't. I didn't really care how much money I made at the end.
It doesn't do anything other than I think it affects the ending maybe or something. Maybe. I was reading.
Who cares?
You're not playing this game for the story.
No, I guess the newspaper that comes up and at the end cutscene like says something different. Maybe.
No, that doesn't matter. Like nobody's playing this game for the freaking ending. You're just playing.
Yeah,
it
exactly. Like I just want to have fun with my pal Scrooge McDuck and his wacky friends going on globetrotting adventures.
I didn't even know
what I signed up for.
Who any of these people were.
You know what?
I knew who the nephews were.
Sort of knew them, but I was along for the ride. I was like, "What's that? Who are you? What's your name? Okay, cool. I like you. Let's go."
That was kind of some of it for me. I did kind of like the Amazon boss though when you fight that big totem thing. I thought that was kind of fun just to jump on him. It was easy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this game, it's not too difficult. It has a few difficulty spikes maybe, but it's just very like pleasant. It's not easy. It's not so easy that it's boring. But it's like, it just feels like a nice Sunday stroll. It's just, man, this is nice.
Yeah. I think that I think it was like the first two bosses, they kind of actually reminded me of like the Koopas in Super Mario Brothers 3. Like just very like jumpy, like they just hop around and you just got to kind of jump on them real quick.
Yeah.
And like,
I mean, that's a very sharp contrast again from Mega Man, where bosses have these very fast, very specific, very non-telegraphed patterns that you just have to immediately adapt to if you want to survive, or otherwise know which order to play the bosses in so you can just cheese them. But they clearly were going for sort of the opposite, where it's like, look, this boss does exactly one thing, and he does it with 1 second gaps between each of the things he does, during which time he clearly communicates through animation what he's going to do next. So it's like they're very cut and dry bosses. And I felt like that worked. I was not mad at that at all. I still died on some of them a couple times, so
the Transylvania, I hated everything. The Transylvania level, I did not enjoy that level at all.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
that level bugged me.
It's intentionally, like maze-like and sort of loops back in on itself. This is in the tradition of spooky haunted house levels and platformers. Like if you go and look at Super Mario World, pretty much the same playbook. Yeah. I thought, it was very much in that tradition. I thought it was fine. I did get stuck on it, and then I had to go back after I went to the mine, and it was like, nope, you need a key that's in the haunted house.
Yep.
It's like, oh, do I? Okay.
At least they make it real simple. Like I was like, oh, great, I go through this whole level again.
Like, oh, wait, there's this one tunnel I didn't go down.
That wasn't there before, kind of thing. And then all of a sudden you're in that mirror, and boom, the key.
It's like, oh yeah, okay, I could have gotten it before, and I knew exactly where to go for it. So.
And what we're kind of talking about is there's like an overlap in levels. Like you go to Transylvania or the mines and you need a key, so you have to go back to Transylvania and get one.
Yep.
Which at first I was really worried. I'm like, oh, I don't want to, because I did the levels in order, so I just beat the Transylvania one, and I'm like, oh, great, I got to do it again, and I was not happy. And then I found out it was just real simple, which I was like, okay, get you right back.
They're very direct about the way they do it, which I guess I appreciate. I'm still not sure why they even made it so you need a key.
Just to make you do it, I guess. I don't know. It didn't really serve a reason.
But whatever. Like, it doesn't really hamper the game at all. So,
I mean, that boss fight though with the Dracula girl Duck, that was fun.
Magica Dispel. Her name is Magica Dispel.
Yeah, that's my wife said the same thing. I as you can tell, I did not watch DuckTales or do not know much about DuckTales. I enjoyed her.
The whole point of Scrooge going through this game is we didn't even say this, is he wants to collect 5 or 6 treasures, and so he has to go to different places to get them, like the Amazon, the Himalayas, Transylvania, and even the moon.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a premise very in line with the show, which is very much that sort of thing. It's like, let's go around the globe looking for treasure, and it's like, yeah, that premise fits right into a video game.
No, I mean, it worked. I mean, I'm not a fan of the show, but I do know the basis of it. I mean, it worked. It was a fun game. All 5 levels felt very different. All 5 were decently fun to play. I mean, the bosses I thought were all pretty interesting. And I mean, they were simple, but they were still fun little platformer bosses.
Yeah, they were fun to fight. Like they each made you do something specific, where you had to use the bounce or the golf swing in a certain way.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was I enjoyed it. Like at first I was like a little unsure about this game when I saw that it won. But I'm like, okay, we'll try it out. We'll see how it goes.
It won because this is like the definition of old licensed games that everyone loves. Like,
everyone knows this game. I feel like other than us. But
oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, if only Stuart were here.
Yeah, I mean, it feels different without Stuart.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, DJ, were there any good reviews on this one?
I looked for reviews, and most of them were for the remaster.
I do want to talk about
or
that.
They were. I do my little. I'm gonna do my little review corner segment. That's probably going to be reserved for reviews that were given at the time the game came out, and I'm only going to do them if I think they're really funny. For this one, I didn't find much, but that's because this is a game that's been remade, and because it's been mostly reevaluated in the present day, so I couldn't find a whole lot. And it's back in the NES era before anyone was aggregating reviews.
I think this was 1989.
1989, yeah.
I mean,
right.
And even, and again, it was. They finally did re-release it in that Disney. This is also in that Disney Afternoon collection when it came out again.
That's true, yeah.
Also, I guess there was a remastered version also by WayForward.
Yes, there was the WayForward remastered version, which
I did not know about
has pretty like gorgeous graphics.
I'm surprised I didn't even know that existed until just now when I was reading.
And it has the original cartoon cast.
Oh, nice.
Including the original voice of Scrooge McDuck, who I think has passed away at this point. He was like 97 when they recorded for the remaster. Yeah. And they got him back.
Wow. That's dedication right there.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to point out that the sound programmer on this was Yoshihiro Sakaguchi, and he did amazing music in this game. I think the moon and the main theme of the show, probably my favorite tracks in the game.
The moon gets so much, but like that's the one everyone talks about, right?
Yeah. You even have a listener.
Honestly, I loved all the music in this game. I thought it was all fantastic. I felt like it represented the spirit of the show in like a way I couldn't have expected. If you put this music in an episode of Ducktales, I don't think it would sound out of place.
Yeah, that's fair.
It feels very Disney somehow.
Yeah, I can go with that too. It's just it was good music.
Is certainly because contrasted with the second one, which if it doesn't have a different composer, I would be very surprised because it's a lot less memorable and a lot more sort of generic, just happy NES platformer.
Yeah.
Whereas this really feels Disney.
It has different composers.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, it
different
does.
composers.
Yeah.
Sakaguchi did do the Game Boy version, though.
Oh, so since you brought up the Game Boy, I'll just do the quick run-in. I did play through the Game Boy both of them, but I'll talk about DuckTales 1. It's all right. It's pretty much almost exactly the same game with a little bit less enemies. They tried to even make all the rooms look about the same. It wasn't bad, like for a Game Boy game. If you're at back in 1990 or even today, it took me like an hour and it was kind of fun just to run through it. I did enjoy it. I mean, somebody had the time, like, hey, I want to try it. It's not bad. It's not like the Batman Game Boy game we played a couple weeks ago that I wanted to break my phone. That was a little different story, but hey.
Why are you guys always hating on Batman? Come on.
I mean, hey, I don't have anything against Batman.
I don't have anything against good Batman
It's
games.
what other people have done to Batman.
I like good Batman games, but you didn't pick out a good Batman game. But enough of Batman. Any last things about DuckTales 1 before we wrap up this one and jump into 2?
Wow, that was quick.
Or yep.
I feel like this would have taken a lot longer if Stuart were here.
It might have, but we pretty much we have covered.
I mean, yeah. Just to impress on you guys, this is a really short game. Like this is an NES era licensed platformer It's not going to take a long time to beat.
Half an hour, I would say, maybe 2 at max.
Yeah,
playing like we did.
And I enjoyed the heck out of it. While I was like, it's again, that is a great weekend afternoon.
Yeah,
right.
That's that game.
I do recommend that. I mean, if you have the chance, especially the Disney Afternoon Collection, that's a great way to play it. I mean, I'm glad they did that just to get it back out in the open. Because when you have like licensed games, and you have all those licenses, sometimes stuff never comes back. Like it just goes away and it's gone. And so it was nice to see this get re-released. The fact that it did get re-released.
I really do want. I've been thinking about getting that collection, but I'm holding off until they finally bring it to Switch. Come on, guys. What are you waiting for?
I forgot you're a big Switch guy now.
Man, everything should be on the Switch, especially repackaged NES games. Like, there are no technical concerns there. They're NES games. Just put them on the thing.
Yeah. I mean, they're simple. I mean, you get a few free ones.
You do.
I forget what they added.
This month is Super Mario Brothers 2 and Kirby's Adventure.
That's kind of cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Kirby's Adventure is really good.
Kirby's Adventure, yeah. You know what? We should talk about Nightmare in Dreamland on this show sometime.
Okay. Never played it, but I'd be okay with it.
It's a Game Boy Advance remake of Kirby's Adventure. And it was the first Kirby game I played.
Yeah.
We'll have to definitely do that.
Yeah, okay, actually no, it wasn't. But it was the first Kirby game I owned.
Hey, that's fine. It's close enough. First one I played is Dreamland 2 for Game Boy.
Mm.
Since we're talking about Kirby, you got Stefan. What was your first Kirby game?
Kirby's Adventure.
Oh, you played the hard one first. Good game, but if not, we'll get. Yeah, I don't want to go too far.
All right,
Kirby,
yeah,
but
we're
I know we're derailing.
Lest we forget, we're talking about Ducktales.
Hey, they're both on the NES. Doesn't that count? You see, we're segueing into other NES games.
Okay,
but
I mean, what I'm saying is this episode is not about other NES games. It's about
I know Ducktales. But hey, they're both platformers. They both was one each things, and one does not. But hey, you know. All right. Any last words for Ducktales 1? We'll do the shelf thing at the end for both of them. All at the end.
I mean, you're putting me on the spot here.
Well, I can talk while you think. I got a few last things. Just want to say, like, I mean, all the boss fights to me were great. I mean, for me coming back and not being a big fan of platformers, I did have fun playing it. But, you know, it was a cool experience. I mean, DuckTales 2 was the one that really grabbed me and really made me like, this is awesome. The first one didn't really grab me as much, but it was still, like, definitely still worth playing.
Oh, yeah. I found them both to be on sort of the same level. Like I said, I liked the music in DuckTales 1 a lot more.
It's better.
I don't know. I thought the bosses were nice. Some of the bosses were great. Very simple, but
I liked the snail
memorable.
A lot. Snail was fun. Easy.
Snake. I liked Magica Dispel, and I liked Count. It's not called Count Duckula because that's another show. But the Duck Dracula.
Or something. I forget his name.
I have it up here somewhere. I thought I did. Maybe I did. I don't see. It's you fight Flintheart Glomgold. Is he in?
Flintheart Glomgold is the second one.
Okay, that's what I thought. I don't know why it's saying Dracula Duck.
Dracula. That's so all right. That's so unimaginative.
Yeah.
I guess Duckula was taken already?
Oh no, Flintheart Glomgold is the one that goes with Magica Dispel when they go up and you gotta climb up.
He's racing you to the
He was like
Scrooge McDuck's rival.
Yeah, I didn't even know who he was until because he's in DuckTales too, but I didn't even know that was Flintheart. I thought it was just Dracula Duck just turned away or something and went with magic up. That's what I thought it was until I just read this.
No, it's Flintheart sent Dracula Duck to deal with you while he went for the treasure.
Well, I didn't even know that.
It feels like an episode of the show, which I like. And yes, Duckula had already Duckula premiered in 1988. Sorry, and let me see.
Oh, while you're thinking or reading, this game does have 3 endings based on your performance: a regular ending and a great ending. I'm pretty sure I just got the regular ending.
Yeah,
because you can get a bad ending for clearing the game with $0, which I don't think that's.
I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah, because you get money all the time.
Yeah.
You still looking up your?
Well, okay. I'm not really sure. Cause like, why wouldn't they have just called him Duckula unless it was some copyright BS?
Yeah, because
Guys,
Dracula
write in and tell us all about if you know all about the copyright stuff between Dracula Duck and Duckula. Just write in, because I gotta think if DC could have had a Captain Marvel and Marvel could have had a Captain Marvel,
I can explain
and they
that.
could have like coexisted.
Yeah.
Why couldn't both Duckula and Ducktales have a Duckula? I just don't understand.
Captain Marvel came out, and I want to say the 30s or 40s before
Yeah,
Marvel was
the DC
Marvel.
one,
Yeah, that's why. I'm wrong a little bit, but I'm close to why. That's why his name.
But then Marvel was like, we want a Captain Marvel, and nobody stopped them. And then there was also like another Captain. There was a third one at some point.
Oh, I don't know if you want to go down the road you're heading right now. I can tell you all about Marvel and Captain Marvel and all that. That's another show.
That's a long conversation right there.
There was one who was like a British character.
Yeah.
Who was like in other imprints.
Captain Britain?
No. There was another Captain Marvel who, like, I think Alan Moore wrote at one point, who was just like a completely different label.
Oh, you're talking about Miracle Man.
Yeah.
That's not Captain Marvel.
Well, he was Captain Marvel. And then they changed him to be... Yeah, anyway. Okay. Let's talk about DuckTales 2, guys.
Hey, they're both based on comic books, so it does kind of relate, because DuckTales had a comic book.
Let's bring it back around.
All right. Yeah. Anything else? Last impressions for DuckTales 1 before we jump into the good one?
It's just a really good game, you know?
All right, I'll start off with DuckTales 2. DuckTales 2 came out in 93, and like a big reason why a lot of people didn't play it, because it came one thing, the series had already ended for 3 years. The Super Nintendo was already out at this time, so nobody really played the second one. I mean, it goes for like 150 on eBay right now for a used cartridge, or only 25 for a fake cartridge, let's just say, because I can't think of the reproduction. Yeah. I mean, but no, I mean, I thought the second one was just a blast. I never played it before, didn't know really anything about it. I'm like, okay, well, I'll load it up, try it out, and then you get the little world map, and it shows you the different levels, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. And the game just kind of blew me away for a platform, and I'm not, as I said earlier, I'm not a fan. I really, really liked the second one a lot. I was having so much fun with it.
I'm kind of puzzled, because I didn't find it that different from the first one.
I don't know if the colors grabbed me more, even though it looks about the same. It just, some reason, maybe I was just better, but something about the gameplay grabbed me more. I like the fact that he can jump on hooks or rings, and he can do other things now.
I did like that.
I
did like the rings. I thought that was cool.
Like even
especially that one boss, the
pirate
with the pirate duck.
That was awesome.
Yeah, he was awesome.
It was awesome.
The first time I fought the pirate, when you're in that in the Bermuda Triangle level, he didn't even climb for me. I killed him too quickly or something. He was just sitting on the ground. I'm like, okay, I guess he doesn't go up here. And then I fought him again when I was just replaying through the game again, just kind of play it. And then he started climbing with me. I'm like, okay, this is super cool. Yeah, all the boss in the game, but I really like that pirate boss a lot.
I like that. I like the pirate level a lot.
That was a great level, too.
I love that level. It's just a really cool. That's just a really cool level. Yeah. Man, what is it with pirate ship levels and platformers always being the best?
Hey, the best part of Donkey Kong Country 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe not in Rondo of Blood, though. That was not fun.
I know what you're talking about. Never played it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
That level is not fun. No. But, yeah, I'm kind of a DJ on this one. The second game, while still fun and just as good as the first, I don't know. I felt like it was easier, and the music wasn't as good.
It was easier. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, I just kind of sped through it. Well, I think it's easier in part because
your experience.
The challenge is getting the good ending, because they have that second hidden objective of getting the 5 map pieces, which are very well hidden.
I never did that. Right. I got a couple, but never got all of them.
Yeah, me neither.
I was just having fun. I'm like, I don't care. I just want to play the game. And I liked that all the bosses, it might have been the case with the first one too, every boss only took 5 hits. And I like that. And they tell you that right away in a Niagara Falls level, before you fight the firecracker duck or whatever the hell his name was. One of the nephews is like, it takes 5 hits to beat him. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you.
He actually tells you that?
Yeah, he'll tell you, and he gives him his name.
That.
You didn't talk to the little duck, did you? There,
That's funny.
And I like how you rescue his. Oh God, is it his who the? God, I don't remember his name. The hick-looking duck. It looks like he came from the country. That one. Oh yeah. He's the one that gives you all the different, when you rescue him, gives you little items so you can move different blocks. I like that.
Oh, Gyro. I think his name's Gyro.
Oh man, I tell you how much I watch Ducktales. You know about it. He's looking it up. I hear the typing.
His name's Gyro, and the guy who flies the plane is McCloud.
McCloud, huh?
No, he's that's hold on.
I did like the McCloud guy that was driving.
No, he's not. That's not his name. Hold on.
Not McCloud. Not the flying one. Not McCloud.
If we're thinking about the same one,
it's not. It's Launchpad McQuack. That's his name. He's Launchpad McQuack, which is a great name.
Yeah,
it's a great name, and how dare you?
Oh. No, I just don't remember any names of this game. I didn't look them up. I was just playing the game and just I blew through the second one real fast. I was having so much fun with it. I mean, the pyramid was kind of cool too. I enjoyed the pyramid level.
Yeah. That was nice little change up from the rest of the game.
Yeah, because it's more puzzle heavy and you have more options. Like you got to jump on those little levers, pull them down, jump on top of them.
There was that one puzzle that I just didn't figure out.
Yeah,
Are
you talking about the one where the little duck is like, we got to put these stones on top of, and I just kept going.
there are like puzzles in these levels that I guess lead to the map pieces that I just never figured out, and I just finished the game. I was like, man, I kind of regret not doing that, and not figuring out what that was all about, because that would have been so cool. Like, and that's really cool. Like, credit to this game that stuff is in there, that they actually went like, okay, well, this is like an adventure exploration show, so we should put that stuff in the levels, and we should like make it so you have to solve puzzles to open up more of the levels so you can get the like valuable collectibles. Like, yeah, that makes it feel more like an episode of the show. I appreciate that. That's really cool.
And this game actually gave you a reason to collect money.
Yeah.
Which I loved. When I first saw the shop, I got all excited. I was like, there's a shop. You could buy extra health.
I never bought anything.
Oh man, you could actually get yourself more health too.
I was still in the mind frame of the first game where your cash count is just your score, and like how good of it just determines how good of an ending you get. So I was like, nah, I want to finish with as much cash as possible.
No,
not to buy anything.
I bought everything I could just to do it. But I got real excited with that because I didn't need continues because I had save states. But I bought the continues. I bought the little safe. I bought all the little stars to give me more health. And I just thought it was really cool. Like because if you were having a hard time, the game would help you. You could like play through a level, get more extra lives, which I thought was cool too. I mean, just by getting more money and buying them, not just trying like knowing a little area that spawns them like many other platformers.
Yeah, I actually think a Mega Man game does that too. So maybe they borrowed it from Mega Man.
Sort of, but Mega Man you can't really redo levels, so you kind of like you have to like just keep dying or spawning enemies kind of thing.
Well, I mean, you can do that in Mega Man X, so maybe Mega Man X learned from DuckTales.
Hey, I don't remember what year it came out, but it probably wasn't that far away from this game, since this game was really late in the NES cycle.
Yeah, actually, that's probably they might have been developed around the same time. Now that I think about it. Yeah, it came out December 17th, 1993. They were developed at the same time.
Oh, this game, I didn't say it earlier, but this game wasn't even made by Capcom. It's developed by Make Software.
What is that?
I have no idea. And when I go to...
That's really impressive because it's like the same quality as the first game.
Yeah.
I mean, now that I think about it, there are sort of telltale signs, like the fact that the pogo sound effect is different.
I didn't even notice that.
Like there's a lot of stuff in it that's just slightly different, which I guess you can put down to the fact that it was a different development team. I did not know that. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the show was off the air for like two years already. Why the hell did they even why did this game exist? It
was a limited production too. I mean, it wasn't even like it didn't do much. It didn't. That's why it's so rare now on the market, like in eBay. That's why people pay a lot of money for this title.
It's just baffling why they even made it. No, okay. I'm looking at the Wikipedia and it says it was Capcom. I'm looking at the box. It says it's Capcom.
Yeah, and then I had the Wikipedia page open, and it says make software for the developer.
Oh, but published by Capcom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I remember.
But that might have been the studio that did the first one. Hold on.
No, it was Capcom for the first one. I checked that.
Okay.
But yeah, I was confused too. I was like, the game feels like almost, feels pretty close.
It feels like the same. It feels the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just better, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, it does have some stuff that the first one didn't. I mean, that map screen is pretty snazzy.
I think part of it is the fact that you're traveling to supposed to be kind of iconic locations, a pyramid, the Moo waterway thing. I mean, I'm a big history buff, so to me it just made me go, wow, more than the first game.
The locations in this one are more specific.
Yeah, and I like that.
The first one is just the Amazon rainforest, the moon,
African mines.
But which is basically, but it's still like, there's nothing African about that level. No. It's just
just some mines.
Underground. Same thing with Transylvania. It's just a haunted house. There's nothing.
I hate that place.
I thought you go to the Bermuda Triangle in the second one?
Yeah, it's the Bermuda Triangle.
Yep, that's where you do the pirate ship.
Yeah. But then you have stuff like the Moo waterway, which is like really interesting, which is like these ruins that are like half submerged.
I like the Moo waterway also because in a game we might play later on this show, not anytime soon, Illusion of Gaia, you go to the Moo waterway. It's supposed to be, if I remember correctly, it's supposed to be like a city that was like lost to time or something that is in myth. I'm pretty sure that's what Moo waterway is, or Moo.
But yeah, I do like how the all the locations are much more specific. Yeah. What was the other?
Scotland is one of the other ones.
Scotland was great. Oh my God, Scotland's so good.
Scotland, that's the one that has that little wizard duck you fight, which I like. Yeah. I really like that fight a lot too.
Yeah.
The boss fight where it wasn't much, but it was fun.
I mean, yeah. And props to them because it's essentially another haunted house level, but they make it feel very different.
It made it feel a lot of fun too. Like I didn't enjoy Transylvania, but I really enjoyed this one.
All right.
I'm trying to think what else I want to say about this. I mean, and then you also have I guess apparently I don't think any of us got this, but if you collect all of the treasures, the unique treasures, there's a 6th stage in this game. With the lost treasure McDuck can be found.
Right. That's if you get all the map pieces, I'm betting.
Okay, so none of us did that.
Yeah, none of us did it. Stuart probably did, but he's not here.
He's not, unfortunately.
We'll ask him later.
Yeah, we can ask him for next episode, I guess. I did.
No, we're not going to, because that episode will be 3 hours long, and I'm not editing that shit.
I'm not hey, you're getting a break with this one, but. I did like that when you go to the ship and he captures Webby, which I didn't even know that was her name. And you go and fight the Glom God guy or Glomgold, and then he turns into the metal duck, and all that went through my head was the guy from the Turtles show. I can't remember his name, and he's the robot that I think they built that you fight in the Turtles in Time game. You know what I'm talking about?
You talking about
you
Krang?
mean Krang?
No, not Krang.
Are you talking about the Technodrome?
No, not Technodrome. I'm gonna look it up if you want to talk. I'll figure it out in a second.
All right. Time to vamp, Stefan.
Okay, here we go. Vamping.
Da, 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 da. Just imagine we're doing like a really elaborate dance number.
Here in Duck Berg.
There's race cars, there are planes. There's a lot of those. And Ducktales, woo!
Hey, at least someone did the woo. Okay. I can't find his name, so we'll just skip it. Someone who's listening to the show will know who I'm talking about.
Now I'm gonna edit it. I'm gonna edit all this out. And now this episode will be even shorter. Hooray!
You can edit all that out. There's no point. All right, back to the show. Anything else you guys want to? Any other things you want to say about DuckTales 2?
Just that it's basically the first game with some technical differences, kind of. Yeah, not really, but it's basically like the first game. So if you like the first game, you'll probably like the second game.
Yeah, I felt like the locations, like it felt less iconic, but also more interesting. Like there were little changes and additions to the gameplay that I really appreciated. Hanging on those hooks. Made a lot of sense.
I really
and
like
it added a really nice other layer to the levels, which I liked. I loved that the levels had puzzles that you had to solve. Like they were much more interactive. It just even further set these games apart from like other Capcom platformers. I enjoyed it. Music wasn't as good. The boss fights again less memorable, but I think better.
In the second
Still
one,
fun.
I found them more memorable than the second one.
To
me at least, but
okay.
Maybe I can't remember the Moo Waterway boss, so maybe I'm crazy.
I like that they made Glomgold the villain. I think he should have been the villain from the get-go in like the first one. Yeah. It's weird to just have him show up in the last 10 seconds, but whatever.
I didn't even know it was him until just now when I was reading. We did the show.
And and adding that extra layer of complexity and replay by having the map pieces and the secret unlockable level. Super cool, even though I never got to see it.
I didn't even know there was one.
Yep. I like it a lot. I'm not sure which one I like more. I kind of just see them as the same thing twice, like two parts of the same game. Like I don't really see why you would even look at them as two separate things, because they're the same thing. They're both great, but they're about the same thing.
Yeah, they're very close to the same game.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I really had fun with the second one. To me, the second one was by far better than the first one. Like I just had so much more fun with it. And I mean, and like you guys said, it isn't that much different, but for some reason it just grabbed me.
Fair enough.
Awesome.
I don't know, but I was everything grabbed me. This one I had a blast. Yeah. It was definitely up there, one of my favorite platformers that I played at all for DuckTales 2.
I'm surprised it isn't Batman.
Oh, and Batman can go to hell. Oh, sorry, what was that? I did not enjoy any of those 3 games of that trilogy by Sunsoft. Genesis was all right, but no.
Sunsoft.
Does anybody ever play Remastered? We should talk about that just for a little bit if you guys want to just throw that in there.
I played a little bit of it a few years ago. And again, a lot of it went over my head because I wasn't like super invested in the show. But if you were super invested in the show, you would love that game.
I liked it a lot. And I wasn't invested in the show. But you are right though. My wife had a great time with DuckTales Remastered, and she liked the show, and that's the only reason I even bought that game a couple of years ago.
Yeah, because they brought back all the voice actors. They look just like they do in the old cartoon.
He's got the blue coat instead of the red coat in the remastered version.
I didn't even recognize that there was a difference there.
There is. In the show, he has a blue coat. In the comics, he has a red coat. For some reason, in the NES version, they gave him the red coat from the comic, even though the cover of the box has a blue coat.
It might have been a color palette thing.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of our listener questions, Ashley, too, so that's why I worked it in there. But
yeah, well, I mean, we didn't develop this game. We don't know.
No, I thought it was. I personally
don't ask us. Better. Just go look, guys. Just go look that up on Wikipedia. Come on, that's what we did.
I have a Wikipedia page open right now while we're talking. But no, I really enjoyed Remastered. That was my first experience with the DuckTales game and everything. And then after playing Remastered and playing the first one, the NES version, it made the NES version less fun to me because the remastered version is one, easier. 2, again, it's modern day game, so it's much more fluid. It's much more has all the quality of life improvements that I'm used to and I expect in my gaming now. Where the first, playing the original game does not, of course, because it's from '89.
Right.
So that was definitely part of it.
I don't know. I having played both and not, to be fair, not having gone back to the remastered version. I think I still like the original one better. Like, because it was just a product of its time, and it just turned out to be like perfectly amazing and iconic. Like that, just the chiptune music and the bouncy sound effects and just the little sprites, like something about it just feels perfect. And I look at the remastered version, which is great. It just doesn't hang together the same way for me. Like it just doesn't seem to coalesce the way the original one does, like just so perfectly.
Oh, and then before other thing I want to mention, like with DuckTales 2 on the Game Boy version, I did play that too. That actually is also a really good port too. It's really spot on to like the NES game. They did a really good job with that one also. that's definitely worth playing if you had time and wanted to.
Cool.
It was a good little. I mean, they were both good little Game Boy games. If that's all. Any last minute questions for DuckTales 2 before I jump in? We have a couple listener questions that we didn't answer.
All right. Should we do that before or after Shelf or Box?
I'd say do listener questions. We'll do Shelf or Box at the very end.
Okie dokie.
Right.
Who we got? What we got? What you guys want to know?
First, we got one from Jeff Edmonds, not part of a different. He asked, "What's your favorite level of the series?"
Oh boy, I gotta go with the pirate ship. That pirate ship was rad.
For me to try and go for DJ, I would say, I really enjoyed Scotland in the second game. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with pirate ship as well.
Yeah.
I didn't ask Stuart what his question was, so we don't.
It's a 2D platformer. The pirate ship is always the best level. Come on.
All right, let's see. And the other one I got, we already answered some of these about the Game Boy and the remastered, and we answered the one about the coat. The other one I had is from Aaron. Is the moon level music the same music played on our moon, but we can't hear it on our moon due to the vacuum of space?
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. I just had to say it. Just so you put it down there.
My mind just melted.
You need to take a duck to the moon and see if it dances.
Oh, I don't think it will dance. I think it will die, but hey.
You need to send him up there with a tiny cane and see if he bounces around on it.
And then the other question I had from Daniel, he's from the Overblood group. He asked, which coat did we prefer, the blue or the red coat?
I didn't even realize there was a difference until now, so I don't know, Daniel.
I prefer the blue.
Yeah, I prefer the red just because I like the comic book.
I didn't even know there was a comic book until I was reading why there's two different coats. But hey,
I mean that's where he came from.
Yes,
yeah.
In random information, I actually a buddy of mine had the first appearance of the Donald Duck comic, or the first appearance of Donald Duck in a comic. It was missing half pages, but he had a copy of it that I wanted to buy off him. But that was awesome. I don't have much to say about Donald Duck. Or anybody have any? We kind of mostly talked about the DuckTales. Anybody watch the new DuckTales cartoon?
Nah. I've seen clips. I think I saw out of curiosity, I watched the pilot. It was fine. I
heard good things about it. I never watched it.
It seems like a good successor to the original, which again I don't have a whole lot of contact with. Man, we really needed Stuart on this one.
Yeah, I know.
Damn. I hope he's happy wherever he is.
Okay, and then I think that's all the questions we have. Actually, I have one more question, I think. Yeah, my wife is going to ask a question on the show.
Hello.
Oh, welcome.
I have a trivia question. Are you up for it?
Oh, boy. All right. Okay, hands off the keyboard.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sitting on my hands. I
No
cannot
Googling.
I cannot Google anything. All right, hit me.
So this has to do with Huey, Dewey, and Louie. First of all, do you know which color is which?
Oh God.
Huey's green.
I have no idea.
Huey is red, Dewey is blue, Louie is green.
Yes. And
yes.
Do you know why they are called Huey, Dewey, and Louie?
No, I do not.
From the Three Stooges, maybe, or something?
No.
So this is legit what Google says. I'm not making this up. It says Huey is dressed in red, so it's the brightest color, hence Huey.
Oh,
and blue is the color of dew, so Dewey. And that leaves green,
which is the color of Luigi. So
no,
Louie.
that leaves Huey, which is the color of leaves Huey, so green.
Louie.
Do.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So that was my trivia question.
Hey, but these predate Luigi though. I don't remember what year they first came out.
They definitely
predate them.
Yeah, I think they're from the comics too.
Yeah.
But they didn't start getting colors. They didn't start getting colors until the 80s.
I see.
So they saw Luigi.
Hold on, it might be after Luigi.
Okay, that's the end of it.
Hey guys, all right, that's your listeners, that's your homework assignment. Just look up when Louie was green and when Luigi was green. and so we can figure out who ripped off who.
All right. Should we do shelf or box then? And I have Stuart's answer, too, on my phone for
All
after.
right.
I'll start. For the first one, I'd box the first one because I didn't enjoy it as much. And I would definitely shelve the second one because I really liked the second one.
I don't understand you.
That's okay.
I just don't get it. Is Tiffany still here?
No, she walked away.
Oh, man. Tell her I just don't get it.
She didn't like the second one either. She played like one level. She's like, I do not like this, and this was done with it.
It's just not as iconic. It's just not as... It doesn't... It's good. It's better in a lot of ways. It just doesn't feel like a full package in quite the same way the first one did.
And I'm kind of sad. I was gonna say lines from the song today. I've been playing it all week since Stuart's not here. I didn't end up getting myself doing it.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right. DJ, do you want to do your shelf or box?
Yeah, I'm putting these both on the shelf right next to each other. I like them both for different reasons. I feel like they're both just, again, on a rainy Sunday afternoon, there is nothing better. These games are what you want to play. And I don't think I have much else to say besides that. They're just really solid platformers. They've carved out a really specific, great sort of identity of their own. That's why people remember this game even now, is because, Capcom took this licensed property and they made a really solid gameplay formula out of it that really felt like it fit. Like, if I were told that the Ducktales series was actually based on the game and not the other way around, I might believe that, because it's just that solid. Like, it's great. Yeah, it's like the gold standard for licensed games.
Yeah, it was a really good licensed game. That's for sure.
Yeah, so and then I would put the first game on my shelf just because I've played it more. I can kind of speed through it really fast. It's something I think you could play over a weekend, kind of like what DJ said. They would be like a weekend rental type game. Very easy. They're both very easy. The second game, I wouldn't say was as memorable for me, so that one's going in the box. Sorry, Mike.
Oh, don't be.
Yeah, but I mean, they're still both good games. There's nothing to take away from that.
Yeah.
I'm just more familiar with the first one, so that's.
Well, so is everybody.
Yeah, that's
played the second one.
I don't think a lot of people, like you just said earlier, a lot of people didn't even know it existed, I'm sure.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, and I doubt you're the only one.
It's a great little game, but like I just don't know why they even made it, because it was like 2 years after the show was canceled.
All right, now give Stuart's real quick shelf or box. He said he's going to say shelf for both. As frustrating as they were, the music was great and the satisfaction of beating them was good. Plus, I really enjoyed level hopping to get keys and rescue the nephews. So apparently, one of us who wasn't on the show today might have actually did the secret level.
Oh,
wow. So, yeah, he both doing shelf. All right, then before we wrap it up, so we can do our plugs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Well, before we do that,
should
we reveal what game we're doing next week?
Oh, we should.
Yeah. So this is Stuart's recommendation, and he will be back for that one. Stuart wanted us all to play the original Fallout.
He wanted us to suffer.
Yeah. Well, some of us are not so hot on CRPGs.
Yeah.
I'll give you 3 guesses as to who.
It should be interesting.
Yeah. This should be an interesting one, folks. Tune in. God, it's gonna be a long one too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's gonna be a long one. Another thing,
oh God.
If you guys, as I said earlier in the show, if you guys get a chance, please listen to Trash Talk. He's only on YouTube at the moment, but he drinks and talks. And I actually will be on that show coming up in March. I'm gonna be guest starring on an episode of that show, so you get to hear me drink, which I don't normally do. So that's gonna be very interesting. Because I don't ever drink, so I'm gonna be that should be fun.
That's gonna be interesting.
And then also, we are now finally have a Facebook page. So if you like this episode or listen to other episodes, please like us on Facebook. And I can get for our page, which just got created today. We can also find us on Twitter. We should be on most podcast apps that people are going to use for podcasts. We're not on something you got a friend who's like, hey, they're not on this app. Send me a tweet, please, or comment on the Facebook, and I will make it happen. I'll do my best to make it happen, I should say.
All right. And thanks to Mike Stoney for the use of our theme song, The Cool Kids Squad, off his EP, Bite the Bullet. Mike Stoney is also known, of course, as Bulby. You can find him on his YouTube page, youtube.com/Bulby, Bulby. He, as well as original works, does a ton of 8 and 16-bit covers of video game tunes. He's super awesome. Big thanks to him for letting us use his stuff. Seriously, check him out. He does awesome work.
Oh, we actually got a compliment about that from the other guy that the Trash Talk episode, me and him were talking. He's like, "Oh, you guys got a great intro. Where'd you get it from?" And I was telling about that. So we did get a compliment about our intro that you found.
All
EJ.
right. You hear that, Mike?
I don't know.
Not you, Mike. Other Mike.
The Bubsy guy, or not Bubsy? That's something else. Bulby. That's his
Bulby.
name.
Yes.
All right. And you can find us on the Overblood Facebook group. Mainly, anything else you guys want to plug?
Well, I may be on another podcast sometime in the near future.
That's awesome.
But that's sort of in the works right now. I'm not going to say too much about it. But yeah, it might be coming up sometime in the next few months. So stay tuned, folks.
Anything for you, Stefan?
Not just yet. I've got an Etsy page coming here pretty soon, but as anyone knows, good art takes a while, so
yeah.
It'll be coming.
And for anyone still listening, I want to thank you so much for everyone that has been downloading our show. Silent Hill was our #1 show so far, and by the time you're listening to this, there's a good chance right on the 13th, February 13th, it'll be a month since we started recording and publishing. And again, I appreciate all the support we've been getting, the people that have been taking the time out to listen.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. It really means a lot to us.
Yeah, what they said.
All right, I think that's all we got.
All right.
Well, again, you guys have a good night. Thank you, and bye.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Okay. I guess that's... I never did say Ducktales on the recording like I wanted to.
That's okay. I picked up your slack there. We're good.